so I know who you are.
Todd, T-O-D-D, Kibbe, K-I-B-B-E-Y.
So what did you see this morning? How'd it go down?
This morning I heard first gunshots. They went off and freaked us out, so I ran in, made sure that everything was okay in our house. Looked out the back window, saw the guy was down, or there's no more commotion after that, pretty much. So it was chaotic for a second. We weren't awake yet.
What was, the scene there, to see that sort of taking place right by your house?
I'm from Southern California, so it's not a really big deal. But you move up here to a small town, and you get away from that, and it happens in your backyard. It was pretty alarming, and it also last night we weren't prepared. That made it 100 feet down our alleyway, or right around the corner to our house here. We're not prepared for that, and it's something most people should take into accountability.
Yeah, sort of describe to me sort of the interplay. Did you hear like shots, or maybe in fire,
shots, yeah,
fire
I was having
return?
a cup of coffee,
maybe
watching. No fire. I don't know. I can't tell you that. I heard pop, 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 5 or 6. That was it. End game. Sounds like he was coming up here to that hotel, and they had it blocked off. Got out, confrontation, and that was that.
Well, it's good. Everybody's safe.
Yeah.
Your family's okay and everything.
Yeah, everybody's fine. Dogs, cats, all good. So,
no, that's good.
No problem. It's just so close to home in our little community.
What was your first instinct when you heard the shots?
Get my gun. It's the first reaction, just safety of our house. And my neighbors freaked me out. I know all the neighbors around here. We're a real tight-knit community, so that hotel there's been quite a sore for our community for quite a while. It's just no good. Maybe it's time for it to go. Unfortunately, I know that people need it, but at the same time, our community needs a safer environment.
So what was he going to do? Like, he was going to take it now?
Keith just sent a note that says bombshell in Culver defense. Nothing in the doctors or other medical complex with bombshell in Culver. It's like yesterday with the doctors and mental health experts and all this stuff. So I think this was a big shock.
He is very violent, has 12 felony convictions. He's run from us twice in the last week, and he's been armed. We believe he was up in this area trying to target a family. And the family that he was targeting is going to do some bad things to. We had information, and that's why he was up in this area. And when we confronted him, we surrounded him, tried to get him to stop, and he was told, don't leave this containment. We're not letting you leave here because, obviously he's violent, and he tried to take off, and one of our guys shot him.
And he's wanted in some home invasions as well?
He's wanted in home invasions. He's wanted in multiple different felonies. He shot somebody in home invasions, and we believe he was here targeting a family, including a young lady and a mom and dad, that he was made threats to take out because they were witnesses against him.
And what's his condition now?
Well, his condition now is I know that he was shot, struck, and he was alive when he left here, and we're waiting to hear an update.
Do you know where he was taken?
No, one of the hospitals. I'll find out.
But would you say life-threatening, or is he expected to
probably
make it?
life-threatening. He got shot. Anytime you get shot, it's life-threatening until get to the doctors and the hospitals and figure out what's going on.
What are his convictions for, do you know?
Oh, he's got convictions, multiple convictions. He has 12 different convictions for felony crimes. He's a known residential robbery suspect. He shot somebody in a residential robbery a couple weeks ago. There were some witnesses and some people that knew he was doing this, and he threatened to kill the family and do bad things to them. And they live very close to here. and that's probably why he was up in the area, and we've been tracking him for a couple days. When we got him cornered and got him contained, told him that if he tried to take off, he wasn't going to get out, and he tried to take off and run, and one of our officers shot him.
And so this wasn't a home invasion. He was planning. He was actually.
We believe he was actually planning to take the family out, and that's why you see so many officers here in so many multiple departments, because we've been looking for him for the last 2 weeks. And in the last few days, he's run from us in a stolen car and on a stolen motorcycle, and we've recovered weapons. So this is a guy that we weren't giving any inch to, because if he would have gotten away from us, this is somebody who would have murdered or killed somebody else.
And how many officers were here when the shots?
There were only a few officers. There were only a few officers here when the shots were exchanged, because we were in the area. We were both watching the residents to protect the residents and make sure those people were okay, and we were also tracking him, trying to get him caught with the information that was coming to us. And a couple officers in 2 cars saw him come out of the hotel and confronted him out in the street when he tried to run. We cornered him in the street. He wasn't cooperative, and this wasn't somebody that we could let get away, because we pretty sure that he would have shot other people or followed through with his threats to hurt this family. And so our officer did what he needed to do to keep him from running.
And roughly a rough age on this guy, 20s, 30s, 40s?
Yeah, I think late 20s. He's actually a pretty young guy for having many felony convictions, and one of our concerns is a guy with this type of background, what's he doing out of jail, especially when we know he's making threats to hurt people.
I understand that the FBI was also involved in this
No,
search?
there's no FBI here.
No FBI?
No, that was other agencies that are just were helping us, but there's no feds here.
And just to catch up, Ed, he was staying at this motel?
Yes.
And the family that you mentioned he was targeting was the Buckley family?
Yes.
And where the home where the woman was shot a couple of weeks ago, where's that?
Spanaway.
Spanaway. Okay.
Same suspect?
Same suspect. Yeah.
And you'd been tracking him and waiting for him to come out of this room here?
Well, we knew he was in the area. We had information that he was in the area, and the hotel is obviously one of the places that we watch, along with some other residents that he's been known to frequent. When we last saw him, he was on the Key Peninsula, so he covers a lot of ground in the county. And the robberies were in Spanaway, so you put all that in consideration. We definitely had a lot of people out involved in this operation, because we didn't want to get anybody else hurt.
Where's his base? And he's not a Buckley guy.
He's a transient.
Okay.
He moves all over, yeah.
And I think
What's your name?
Michelle Laverne.
And can you spell that for me, Michelle?
My last name?
Yes.
Lavergne.
And what happened here in front of your house today?
Well, the only thing I know it for sure was when I got up this morning, I sat on the couch, and then I heard a car come by really fast, and I was going to get up and see what was going on. I heard a screech, and then I heard a bang, like 2 cars hitting one another. And so I ran up and opened the door, and when I opened the door, I heard pop, pop, pop. And I was like, well, where is that coming from? And I saw the police officers rush in, and the guy was on the ground, and they're telling him, stay down, stay down. And he was trying to move, and they kept yelling, stay down. And then everybody kind of swarmed around. And then that's when you could tell, because they moved him over, and you could tell that he had been shot. So.
And did he appear to be, what age did he appear to be?
I thought he was between 18 and 20 because I looked at him, and from a distance, I mean, it looks like one of the kids around here, because I know a lot of the kids around here, so I was like, who is that? And I was just watching, and I was actually started crying, and then I'm going to say probably tops 20 years old. He couldn't be any older than that.
Okay. Yeah, this guy is wanted in several home invasion robberies, and they believe that he was up here hunting a family that's a witness against him.
Holy crud.
Pretty scary.
Yes.
It happened right in front of your house. How does it make you feel?
Trust me, I don't like anything happening in front of my house.
Now,
Since I have moved here, everything happens in front of my house.
now, this is Buckley, real quiet neighborhood.
Yes, for the most part it is.
You don't see this kind of thing happen very often.
No, and I don't want to see it happen again. Today was very surreal. It was, I mean, my son was in there sleeping, and I was surprised he didn't wake up because the window was open. And I mean, I was shaking so bad that I almost got sick just watching and knowing that that was a young person that did something bad, obviously.
Yeah. So you heard the shots. Did you actually see the man fall, or was he already on the ground when you saw him?
He was already on the ground because it happened within not even a second. It was like seconds right there. It was pop, 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 and it was done. And I was standing right there, and so I was like, I didn't even see the police until like that, right after they shot him.
Maggie Radcliffe.
And can you spell that for me, Maggie?
Or the last
Thank you for your time. Yes.
Yeah.
And Radcliffe.
What did you see here today?
I heard some shots, came out the door, and I saw the guy fall on the ground, and the police officers got him and handcuffed him, and he was shaken because he got shot, obviously. So other than that, they called the ambulance, the fire trucks, and they took him away.
So you heard the shots and you actually witnessed him fall.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty traumatic.
No, not really, but
How does it make you feel having that happen here in your neighborhood?
well, when you live to a motel that has drugs going on all the time, I'm very, very protective of my family. So I keep a close eye, and I have to be strong.
Yeah. Well, he was actually staying in that motel.
Yep, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Seeing the closing the road, is that where he was hit?
I don't know. I know it's where he's worked on.
Okay.
That's the difference. Let me go find that out.